So in today's video, we're going to rank the most hyped survivors out of the licenses that aren't in Dead by Daylight yet. When looking at the list of survivors that aren't in DBD yet, there's actually quite a few really cool possibilities. And some of them would make more sense as a paragraph rather than a full chapter. Matthew Cote talked about his interaction with Bruce Campbell, which was the most recent licensed survivor paragraph.
Mr. Bruce Campbell is a legend. There's no two ways about it. And he was super nice. He was very generous with his time. Iconic survivors are very few. There's not that many characters that really fit what survivors need to be in our game. And he's one of them.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Schmuckles. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I also stream on Twitch on Wednesday and Sunday nights. The link for that is in the description below. I just tweeted at Behavior about Shaggy Rogers in DBD. I said on Twitter, like this tweet if you want Shaggy Rogers in Dead by Daylight. And I tagged Dead by Daylight and Behavior. The link to my Twitter is in the description below if you want to participate in this. Since we're headed into a season of original killers, I'm excited to announce the next season's tournament. It's the most hyped original killers tournament. I'm posting the full brackets on my Twitter. And I just released the first poll on the community tab of my channel. Anyways, our licensed survivors tournament started out with 50 hyped licensed survivors, 10 groups of 5. Some notable survivors that didn't advance to the round of 20 were Alice Hardy from Friday the 13th Part 1, Sally Hardesty from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Ethan Winters from Resident Evil, Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs, and RJ McReady from The Thing. After my subscribers voted on each group, the top 2 seeds advanced to the round of 20. The round of 20 had 4 groups of 5. The winners of each group advanced to the final 4. I don't want to spoil the results of the tournament, so we're going to start our countdown now. Some honorable mentions outside of the top 10 are Isaac Clarke from Dead Space, Dutch from Predator, and Jim Hopper from Stranger Things. These 3 survivors barely didn't make the top 10, but they're still super hyped survivors that people would love in DBD. Number 10 is Nancy Thompson from A Nightmare on Elm Street. Nancy placed 3rd in group 1 in the round of 20, so she wasn't able to break in the top 8. A lot of people have wanted to see her come into DBD ever since the Nightmare on Elm Street DLC, but for whatever reason, Behavior hasn't really prioritized adding in end of the film female protagonists. Number 9 is Lee Everett from the Walking Dead video game developed by Telltale Games. Lee placed 2nd in group 2 in the round of 20. When I posted the Walking Dead licensing video, I mentioned Lee, and I was shocked by the number of people that commented they would prefer Lee as a survivor over Rick, Daryl, Michonne, and Maggie. Some people would have preferred an adult version of Clementine, but nonetheless, Lee's performance in the tournament earned him number 9 on this list. Number 8 is Daryl Dixon from the Walking Dead TV show. Daryl placed 3rd in group 3 in the round of 20, although he may have done much better had he not been in the same group as Rick Grimes. He's one of the fan favorites from the show, and there's a lot coming out on Daryl and a Walking Dead chapter possibility coming into DBD. We actually covered all of this in this video. Make sure to check out that video if you haven't already. Number 7 is Joelle Miller from The Last of Us. Joelle finished 2nd above Nancy Thompson in the round of 20, and I have to say Joelle did extremely well in the tournament when competing against iconic movie licensed survivors. I'm constantly asked to talk more about The Last of Us as a potential crossover in DBD, and Joelle is the most iconic survivor from this franchise. Number 6 is Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. Rick is the main character on the show and makes the most sense out of any character from this franchise to come into DBD. There's debate whether any character would fit as a killer in a Walking Dead chapter, but Rick would definitely fit even if it's only a survivor paragraph. I honestly thought Rick would perform better in this tournament, but he didn't make it into the final 4, finishing 2nd in his group in the round of 20. Number 5 is Ellen Ripley from Alien. So Ellen did finish 2nd in her group in the round of 20, but she got a really high percentage of votes. She's naturally hyped as a survivor because many people want to see the Xenomorph come in an Alien chapter in Dead by Daylight. She's definitely one of the most iconic movie characters in the horror genre. Before we go over the top 4, I wanted to talk about some interesting information from this tournament. If Behavior were to license 2 survivors in an It chapter, it would probably be Bill and Beverly from It Part 2. Although according to our data, Bill would probably be a better option in a single survivor chapter. If Behavior ever licenses a Conjuring chapter, Lorraine Warren was preferred over Ed Warren in our tournament. If Behavior were to license an AMC Walking Dead chapter, according to our data, Rick should be the male survivor and Michonne should be the female survivor. Michonne was picked over Maggie in our tournament, so Maggie would probably be the best legendary skin option for Michonne. Voters from our tournament preferred Daryl over Glenn as a legendary skin for Rick. Also note that Jim Hopper was preferred over Joyce Byers, although this tournament was organized before the announcement of Stranger Things leaving DBD. If Behavior wants to license an end of the film survivor for a Friday the 13th chapter, Alice Hardy had nearly double the votes of the other Friday the 13th protagonists from parts 1 to 3. Also, Ethan Winters was preferred over Ada Wong from Resident Evil. Michael Afton was preferred over Charlotte Emily from FNAF. Adult Andy Barclay was preferred over Karen Barclay from Child's Play. Sarah Connor had more votes than John Connor from Terminator. And Cindy Campbell had more votes than Brenda Meeks from Scary Movie. Number 4 is Michael Afen from Five Nights at Freddy's. Based on the data that we collected earlier this year, FNAF is the most hyped license that people want to see come into Dead by Daylight out of the IPs that aren't in the game already. Michael did extremely well in the most hyped licensed survivors tournament. He eventually lost in the semis to Shaggy Rogers, although he lost the third place game too, so he placed 4th. It might have something to do with the fact that FNAF is played from the first person perspective, so we don't actually see Michael in FNAF. Nonetheless, Afen was the most hyped video game licensed survivor on this list. Number 3 is Tommy Jarvis from Friday the 13th Jason Lives. Tommy did extremely well in the tournament but eventually lost in the semis. However, he did beat Michael Afen in 3rd place, so he took 3rd place in the tournament. In my opinion, Tommy's character and heroic role he plays in the Friday the 13th franchise is the reason he was able to top Michael Afen in the 3rd place game. Number 2 is Sydney Prescott. Sydney won every group she was in except when put against the winner of the tournament, including an upset win against Tommy Jarvis in the semifinals. We posted a video talking about why she didn't come with the Ghostface chapter and how behavior would license her into DBD. When I saw the final 4 of this tournament, I felt confident she'd finish 4th, but the polls placed her in 2nd, and I like letting the data speak for itself. And number 1 is Shaggy Rogers. Not sure if this result was a meme or if people were being serious, but Shaggy placed 1st and never lost any of the polls in this tournament. Interestingly, Shaggy faced Sydney Prescott in the round of 50 and the finals and beat her both times. He also received 2 times as many votes when facing Michael Afen in the semis. I feel like I could put Shaggy with any combination of survivors and he'd still get the most votes. When I asked my subscribers which Scooby-Doo characters they'd want to see in DBD, we got 33,000 votes and Shaggy only won in a landslide. So if you voted for Shaggy, was it a meme or were you being serious? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the Twitter post if you'd like to participate in that as well. Do you want me to make a Shaggy in Dead by Daylight licensing video? I could go over the different versions of Shaggy and talk about what behavior would have to do to license each version of Shaggy. It's just a thought. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that video though. These are the official rankings in 2021 for this channel. Do you agree with my list? Let me know in the comments below and don't forget to vote on the first poll for the most hyped original killer tournament that just started. If you haven't already, make sure to check out our previous video on the most hyped licenses to come into DBD. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this content. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.